We're dealing with processing conditions and lamination sequence on the fracture resistance of laminates. This is the scope of the analysis based on the fact that most of the sailing boats, especially those racing sailing boats, are of big dimensions. You may see one of these dimensions in the picture. It's very difficult to control accurately the processing conditions for composites made of thermoset resins. And then we have been studying the post-curing and cooling rate effects on the fracture resistance of laminates made of continuous fibers, unidirectional, and epoxy resin matrix. This is a so-called pre-preg in which the resin is already present together with the fiber. Then samples have been stacked up using a manual lamination procedure, and then the material has been cured in a vacuum bag arrangement, which is shown in the picture. I don't have time to go through all the components of this arrangement. But basically, what is important in order to get the correct property of the material is to set correctly the temperature, history, and the vacuum inside the bag. So the thermal cycle is used mainly to reach the right condition. This is a so-called TT diagram, temperature time transformation diagram. You may see that the red line shows the curing cycle, which is composed by two steps, one at an intermediate temperature and one at a high temperature, in order to reach the gel glass region and so get correct properties out from the matrix. Basic scope is to get a glass transition temperature as high as possible from the polymer. The processing parameters are many, are the heating speed, the temperature at the two steps, the cooling rate, and the times T1 and T2 of each step. Basically, the temperature controls the kinetic of the reaction, and then sets the level of the residual stresses that arise at the interface between fiber matrix and their possibility to relax during the cooling time, and that's the reason why the cooling time is kept as long as possible. So we have been studying the effect of the thermal cycle on compression after impact properties of the laminates. I will show how it works in a minute. The stacking sequence on the interlaminar fracture resistance of the material. And then we have been comparing also samples obtained in the laboratory and samples taken from a boat in order to check the properties, especially the interlaminar shear resistance and the composition of the material. This is the standard cycle. This has been set. There is a cooling, there is a heating rate up to 75 degrees C, and then a second step at 90 degrees C, and then the cooling down. The first part of the cycle before the cooling is 11 hours, and then the cooling takes place in 12 hours. So it's a total time of about 20 hours, 24 hours. This is a bundle of signals coming from the thermocouple placed on the hull of the boat in different places. You may see that there is quite a good correspondence of the real cycle time with the schematic cycle time, except for a exothermal peak that takes place in the early stages of the cross-linking of the resin. So we may simplify the analysis by saying that the yellow part of the cycle time, the temperature cycle is the curing part, and then the orange one is the post-curing part, and we have been varying some parameters in the post-curing part, especially, namely the cooling rate, V3, and the time of the post-curing, which we call T2, so the duration of the second step. This is the cooling rate, and this is the post-curing. Now let's say this is what we have done with the cooling rate. The standard cycle is a very low cooling rate. We have been trying to accelerate this part so as to save time for the curing cycle. So an intermediate one and a very rapid, a quenching, which is called rapid one, 28 degrees Celsius per minute. So a few minutes. And as for the post-curing time, we have been expanding the standard post-curing time, which is about 6 hours to 12 hours and 18 hours. This is the way we measure the effect of the cycle, the processing, using a quasi-isotropic sequence, 45-0 minus 45-90 degrees symmetric laminates, 8-ply, which has been tested at the center, is a rectangular specimen 100 per 150 millimeters. This sample, with the quasi-isotropic stacking sequence, is tested in impact at with an energy which is not sufficient to break it, but simply to damage it. So the striker rebounds, and then after the rebound, one can calculate the energy due to the impact. And then we have been going through a compression test. You see, this is a standard picture for composites. It has two rails in order to stabilize the specimen, and then the top assembly is used to put the compression load on it. And this is the typical load displacement curve, and the one takes the maximum force divided by the area and gets the stress, the strength of the material after impact. This is a typical series of curves obtained from the impact, from the striker at varying impact energy. The red is at low energy. You see there is a rebound which is almost perfectly elastic, no damage, but as you increase the energy, some damage is apparent on the curves. And it has a strong effect on the force displacement curve in compression. First, you get a very high strength, and then the strength is reduced, and then at a certain level of damage, the behavior changes completely. And in this case, the sample is badly damaged, although not completely broken. And this results in the two-stage curve in the residual strength versus damage energy. You see, you have two stages clearly visible. For low energies, you get a slope which is higher than for high energies. So we decided to define some critical points on this bilinear plot. One is the critical strength at transition between one mechanism and the other, which is called FCAI. The second is the energy, the critical energy corresponding to the very same value of the critical strength, and then the slope of the second part of the curves, which gives you an idea of the ability of the material to withstand damage when the damage is already significant. These are the curves that we have been deriving for the Post-curing time, 6 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours. You see there is a somewhat surprising upward behavior, which means probably that the standard 6-hour post-curing time is not optimal for this material. This is more clearly seen by comparing the parameters. The strength goes somewhat up and down. It is not very significant. And also the critical energy is also somewhat up and down, so you can get a clear picture from this plot. But at least with the slope, there seems to be some decreasing trend going from the standard cycle to the post-curing at 12 hours and then the post-curing at 18 hours. The lower is the value of the slope, the higher is the ability of the material to withstand further damage for increasing impact at high energy. This is the more interesting, probably, condition, 12 hours post-curing time. This is the cooling rate effect. As you increase the cooling rate from the black curve to the red curve, you get a decrease in the ability of the material to withstand damage, but also a decrease in the slope of the curve in the second part of the plot. And then here you have the summary of the parameters. So the critical strength decreases, while the critical energy stays about the same for increasing the cooling rate. And also the slope of the curve regularly decreases with increasing the cooling rate. I will go rapidly through this part. We have been studying delamination with using 3 lamination sequences. The quasi-isotropic already shown, and then sequence A, 0, 30, 90, minus 30, 0, and the sequence B, 7 layers at 0, then minus 30, 90, 30, and 0, which are 2 stacking sequences used in the boat hull at the bottom and at the flank of the boat. We have been using the laminar shear strength test, which is basically a very a flexural test with a very short span in order to have very high shear inside the material. And this gives you delamination usually, and this is the formula that we have been using to calculate the strength based on the load and the sample dimensions. You will see the sequence B, which has a lot of layers in the 0 degree, is quite stronger than the other 2 quasi-isotropic sequences, so much higher load and fracture energy, and this results in a much higher strength, delamination strength, first delamination strength for the sequence B. So the conclusion is that if you have more fibers in the 0 direction, of course your sample is more rigid, and then you get higher delamination resistance. And we have been comparing a sequence, lamination sequences A and B from laboratory testing and taken from the shipyard. In the shipyard, you of course use different processing conditions because the hull is very big, so it's hard to control exactly in every part of the hull the temperature and the void degree. And then you get different curves from the laboratory plates. Which is very interesting is that in the samples taken from the hull showed a much lower strength, up to 50% less strength than the laboratory samples. So there is a significant downgrading of the material going from the laboratory to the shipyard. And this is due, and this is the very last slide. And this is mainly due to the fact that although they have a considerable less void percentage, they also have considerable less matrix inside. So there is probably some lack of the matrix, which results in a reduction of the interlaminar fracture resistance. So to summarize, if you increase the cooling rate during processing, you get a lower stress, limiting stress, but you're resistant to to further damage increases in the samples. And if you increase the post-curing time, you get a same effect, although the picture is much less clear. And for the lamination sequence, the higher is the number of laminae of layers oriented at 0 degrees, the higher is the fracture resistance. But difficulties in the control of the processing in the shipyard can get differences in significant differences in the